Hello, YouTube. Just wanted to give an update on the car. Actually took it to Jackson, South Carolina Thursday. They usually run on a Thursday night over there. Wanted to get a personal best. By putting the 9-inch rear end in with a lot taller gear, or not taller, shorter gear, I was trying to make the car a little more aggressive with the 4L80 because I know the 4L80 robs a little power from the engine. Basically, with these cars on 30 pounds air pressure in the highway, I can leave on the two-step and it don't spin a lick out of first gear. It baffles me. So I think the converter is actually way too tight because I couldn't get the 60 foot to come down out of the 2-second range hardly ever. So anyway, I went to Jackson Thursday night. I let the tires down to 17 and they about wore out. I jacked up on the car on the two-step. The car left, and my mistake. I couldn't remember whether I left the car in third, fourth, or what. So I didn't shift it, and it went up to about 7,500 on second to third. And I lifted thinking that I didn't have it in the right gear and I didn't want to push it to neutral, if that makes sense. So anyway, I thought I over revved it, but by looking at the laptop, I didn't over rev it. It only went to like 74, 7,300. So it shifted on the log, but the transmission hadn't dragged it down yet. So I thought I over revved it, which it started puffing a little smoke out of that side. And the crazy part is this turbo went out the day of I was supposed to go to the track. This turbo went out, started smoking out the tailpipe. I had spare turbos where I had a turbo go out and I just ordered 2 new ones. So I just took the turbo that wasn't bad and put it on the car and quit smoking. So anyway, smoking out the passenger side, I didn't know what the hell going on with it. And I just put it back on the trailer. But it ran a personal best to the 8th because I lifted right at the 8th. So anyway, when I put a cam in this engine when I got it, which it was supposed to be new, quote unquote. But when I got it, the cam bearings looked pretty rough, kind of beat up. But I was like, it's a new engine. But I know the cam bearings shouldn't look like that. But I wasn't going to go through the trouble of sending it back and all this. So I just said, okay, hell with it. I put the cam in it. And so anyway, I think at the track, me going to 7,400 or whatever it was, I think it turned the cam bearings in the bore because now I'm not getting oil to the rocker arms on the passenger side. I hadn't looked at the driver's side yet. But either way it go, I think the cam bearings turned in it. So now the engine's got to come back out. I got to tear it all the way down, take it to the machine shop, see if they can put some cam bearings in it. It's not knocking, it's not tapping. I crunk it up yesterday and it's not smoking anymore, but there's no oil coming to the cam bearings. I run this engine with a little lower oil pressure for the higher RPM so it don't be 100 pounds of oil pressure. I didn't change the spring like I usually do. So it doesn't have as much oil pressure as I'd like it for it to have. So anyway, I decided I'm gonna pull that engine out. This is a crate engine also, brand new. I'm gonna take this engine, put it back together, which I just tore it apart, took the heads and stuff off of it. And I'm gonna put it back together and put it in here. Until I can get that engine fixed, I'll have one to just crank up and drive and ride around. I'm gonna also break down and get some decent turbos. These are eBay turbos. I think I paid like $300 a piece for them or something like that off of whatever eBay or I don't forget where I bought them from. But that's the second time a turbo seal has went out, and for this car not to be running a hell of a lot of oil pressure, I don't understand why that is. So I can't get it to get out of the 60 foot. It didn't spin at the track. So I can tell right away that it needs a looser converter. to make it 60 foot, because it won't even spin a wheel in the road, which is great when you're street racing. I mean, you can jack up on it and it just dead hooks. So I said, with the added weight of the 9-inch, maybe that's making it hook better, but it's the tight converter. And I knew that converter was tight, but I just put it in there because it's the only thing I had laying around. So now that the engine's gonna come out, I'm gonna put that engine in, I'm gonna put it together today, put the heads on it and everything, get it ready to go back in the car. And then when I pull this engine out, which I love working on this car because it's easy to work on, I can get this engine out in an hour. I'm gonna change the converter while I'm in there, which is pricey, but that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna order the same converter for this car as I do having that car, which that car has a 4L82. So anyway, I don't want to be rambling. So that's what I'm waiting on. I'm gonna pull that engine out today. I'm gonna put that engine together first. I tore this car down because it had a fuel leak. And it was under the intake somewhere, but I couldn't tell. But anyway, the main line that comes from the rear is leaking. Now, you can't hardly tell where the damn fuel line is leaking because it's got steel sleeves on it. You know, it's got metal covering on it. So you can look at it, but you can't tell where it's leaking. Being that I smoke, I just took a cigarette, puffed in a good bit of smoke, and blew it in the line. And lo and behold, smoke was coming out of the line back here somewhere. So it's leaking about 6 inches from the end up here. So instead of patching that, I just ordered a whole new 10AN line, and I'm going to replace it from there to the fuel filter. And that should solve my problem. And then I ordered enough line so if I have to go into the tank, I'll have it. So that's the update. Old Child Abuse went to the track. She did pretty good. She ran a personal best. But I can't get it to spin. It's not violent, and it should be violent with the gear I put in it. So it's the converter's too tight. So pull the engine out, tear it down, take it to the machine shop, see can they get some decent bearings in it, get some oversized bearings in it, tighten that up, put it back together and put it in the car. Hope the cam's not hot or burnt. And that'll be that. But I'm going to put this little bitty 5.3 in it, which I beat a lot of people, a couple of people with this engine. Put that 5.3 back in there with everything it came with, and till I get the bigger engine fixed. So that's about it. I'm at home daily, so I think I might be able to upload a little more videos. That's the intake off it. See, if you notice, I can't use the heads and stuff off of this car because look at the intake. See, that engine over there is Cathedral port. So that's why I can't just swap stuff out. I get these different stuff. I was so tired of the alternator looking so dingy with the aluminum, so I just painted it black. You know, when you put it on the hood, it looks so dingy. Aluminum, see how the intake looks? That's about what the alternator looked like. I would paint that if I didn't feel like taking them rails off. But yeah, so car ran a personal best in the street. Then it did even better at the track. I got aggressive with boost, but I know it's the converter that's too tight. So I'm gonna put this crate engine back together and put it just like it came. Pull that engine out, swap all the stuff on it, put it in the car, and then take that engine to the machine shop. That's an update, but it runs damn good. With that 9-inch, I don't worry about breaking nothing. It got the hell out of there with the gear and all, but still the converter's too tight too. All right, thank y'all guys for watching.